Welcome back to IceTime.TV, and I'm joined by the most important man in the building, General Manager of the Cardiff Devils, Todd Kelman. And Todd, I don't think you need me right from the start here, but I understand you've got maybe a couple of important announcements.
The most important man in the building. There's only 4 of us in the building right now.
Okay, well, I gave you it.
Wait till the weekend. I'm not the most important guy in the building.
I'm not going to tell the people at home this is take 15, by the way, but okay. I want you.
Okay. Important announcement. We have agreed to terms with Andrew Lord to be head coach of the Devils for another 2 seasons after this season.
And the importance of getting that tied down for you, what he means to this club?
Yeah, well, I think, I love working with Lordo. As a person, as a coach, I think he's one of the top, if not the top in the league. He's done great things for us. I think ownership and management get a lot of credit for turning an organization around, but I mean, the on-ice product is down to him. The recruitment's down to him. He's done a tremendous job. He's got buy-in from the whole team, and we've got a list of players that want to play here. And yeah, there's another guy I want to work with, and I'd like this to continue for a number of years. I'd like him to make Cardiff home, just like I've made Cardiff home. And it's in professional sports, it's hard to get that partnership with a coach. You know, I had it. I very much had it with Steve Thornton. I very much had it with Doug Christensen, and I've worked with other coaches. Not saying taking anything away from, but like you need a couple years to work with someone to really build that up. And I work very well with Andrew, and I think it's good that way. And yeah, so. That's our big announcement, that Andrew Lord will be coaching the Devils for the foreseeable future. Just
a couple more on that, if I may. In terms of his attention to detail, because we see it around the rink working for IceTime.TV, does that allow you the freedom to concentrate on the other stuff, the nuts and bolts? You can leave the hockey stuff entirely up to Andrew Lord because you know the job's been done properly?
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing is from the very start, I've been able to leave it up, the hockey side of things up to, you know, the first year it was Andrew and Franny. And the way I've always worked is kind of making sure I hire a guy that I don't have to worry about things like, you know, I love being a sounding board, because the fun part about being involved in a hockey team is actually being the sounding board and being part of the recruitment process. And when you talk to our owners, you know, they've never called us and said, you got to sign this guy, but they love being informed. They love watching the videos of the guys we're going to sign. So part of the fun of owning a team or running a team is actually, you know, the players. Like putting together a team is the fun part. But by no means do I want to be, you know, involved necessarily in tracking down the players and making the initial phone calls and doing the reference checks and all that kind of stuff that allows us to find guys that are good fits for the Devils as players, but also good fit for this organization as people. And Andrew's his attention to detail is second to none in that. And like I said, I love being on the end of the phone or in my office to chat about players. That we do it all the time, but I've definitely got the guy in charge that I think can bring championships to Cardiff, that can lead us to hopefully, you know, some great years here coming up.
He's currently standing on the bench. I know you like him as a player on the ice. In terms of those contract discussions, any discussion in that in terms of, is it continue to be a dual role? What are your talks at the moment?
We didn't really specify. I mean, as much as I've always said, like I wish I had 2 Andrew Lords. I wish I had one behind the bench and one as a player, because you can't really question whether he's good enough to still be playing and coach. He's managed to balance both roles very well. I think people see him behind the bench and think, oh, that's why we're winning. Well, we're not just winning because Andrew Lord has gone to just being behind the bench. And maybe this year there'll be a couple injuries and he'll be back. But we have a great team of guys. We have balance from top to bottom. We have 4 solid lines of forwards, and we got, you know, a great set of D and wonderful goaltending. So it's as much his work in the summer as it is work behind the bench. But I do like the way he operates behind the bench. His knowledge of the game, when you have someone that's there every day with you and he's cutting the video and he knows these guys inside and out, and he knows that maybe this guy needs a bit of a nudge, this guy maybe needs to be yelled at a bit. He knows all that so well. So it is a benefit. And I've noticed a big difference in the effort that our team has put in with him behind the bench, but it's not to say that he won't be back on the ice.
Well, I know we've only got you for a couple more minutes because you've got a couple of important appointments this afternoon. The other big thing this week...
I'm getting my haircut at Ken Picton's.
I was trying to sell it. You know, business meetings all over the place.
Sponsorship. Ken will be happy he made IceTime.TV. Yeah.
I need one. GB are coming to Cardiff. That's quite a big coup to have them play out of Ice Arena Wales.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we're excited to be one of the teams that get to host them. You know, obviously, to have Norway here is a big deal. Norway have qualified for the Olympics already. They're a top 12 team in the world. GB will definitely have their work cut out for them. But as a league and Ice Hockey UK as a board wanted Team GB to be able to get together more during the season. But the business of our league, we don't want to give up weekends for them to do so, hence why it's midweek. Like other leagues around Europe are happy enough to take the international breaks, but when you're a bums on seats organization and a bums on seats league, you don't really want to give up a Saturday and Sunday for your national team to train when or to play games when it really actually is then hurting your business. And unfortunately, we need all the weekend dates we can get because that's when we make our money. But yeah, we wanted to accommodate them as much as we can. Norway came out of nowhere, and what a coup to actually have Norway to play. So it'll be exciting. It's cool that we get to host them here, and I think obviously we wouldn't have been doing this in the Big Blue Tent. So the fact that we have this beautiful arena that we can host them in is probably the biggest reason they're here. So.
And I guess just finally, your thoughts on the season so far, and this weekend, a big home game here with a certain Calgary legend coming in for the Nottingham Panthers.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's, people in the sport, they talk about fighting and fighting is going out of the game, and that's why, a guy like McGrath and a guy like Bordelot have made their way overseas. I guess I'm a bit old school. I was never a fighter myself, but I like it being part of the game. I like the fact that it's entertaining and fans like it. But I also don't like, I don't expect McGrath and Bordelot to drop the gloves and have the Rocky music going in warm up or anything like that. I love seeing a good scrap, but I never want to see anyone get injured. Last year with what happened with Jansen and Marsh, no one ever wants to see someone injured. Guys love seeing two big guys throwing fists at each other, but no one ever wants to see someone get hurt, and I hope our fans don't come here looking for anyone to get hurt. And but yeah, it's I think it's great for the league that these guys can come over. The naysayers of people that don't like fighting in the game are always saying, well, why aren't the skilled guys coming over? And it's because the game is changing, and when you get away from, a few years ago they got rid of hooking and holding, and it changed the game and eliminated a lot of defensemen who were playing in the NHL who's had made a career out of being maybe bigger, slower, and hooking and holding. Bordelot and McGrattan can play. Like they didn't start hockey when they were 5 years old, beating the crap out of other kids. They all were able to play. They all have junior careers that they can play, and they'll come over here and they'll surprise a few people. I was shocked that McGrattan didn't get a job in the American League. I'm from Calgary, obviously. Our owner's from Calgary. He's a legend there, very popular with the fans, very popular in the community. Kind of like one of those guys that always, was doing the right thing for the community, for big on promotions with kids, all that kind of stuff. So you'd think an American League team would have taken a chance on that, and as an older guy with the leadership that he can show the younger guys coming up. The American League is really, really getting younger and younger every year, and I totally get that. NHL teams are using it as strictly a farm. It's more of just a factory to produce their draft picks and to improve them, not so much as a business on selling tickets and making money in their market, which is why they all switched their markets to be closer to where their team is. It used to be a pro team had a farm team across the country. Now they have them 2 hours down the road, so they can call them up. So there, maybe Bordelot and McGrattan's place in the game in North America has changed. We're lucky we'll have them. In a few years, I bet fighting will be gone from hockey completely. And I wouldn't say it's a good thing. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. You never want to see someone get injured, and the more people you see getting concussions or retiring and having off-ice issues because maybe fighting messed up their heads or whatever, you don't want to see it. And it's very easy for a fan or a guy like me that played hockey that didn't do a lot of fighting, and by not a lot I meant like 3 times in 10 years. But so it's very easy to think like, it's cool to see them fight, but it's the worst job in hockey. But it's entertaining, and they know it, and they made good money in North America doing it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I'm not gonna tweet out the video of those two beating the crap out of each other to promote it, because I want people to come to our games to see that. I want them to see the Nottingham Panthers in town. I think Nottingham are doing a great job of using them and promoting them, and as we're doing with Bordelot, and there's a reason why these guys are here, and it's to sell tickets, but there's also a reason why Joey Martin's on our team, to sell tickets, right? And the focus shouldn't be just on those guys, but I'm definitely gonna turn the focus to it this week, and hopefully it's entertaining, and yeah.
Okay. Before you run out the door for your haircut, who are you rooting for in the big Zorb football game?
Yeah, that was actually should have been the lead story in this. So our owners, and have challenged IceTime TV to Zorb football when they
yeah.
arrive. Yeah, it's quite something. I'm not shocked at all.
They haven't got a lot going for them, have they? Or?
No. I'm sure their wives will be very happy that they're doing this. Yeah, they're usually our summits in the summer at Steve King's house in Calgary usually involve a long list of ridiculously crazy ideas that Lordo just folds a tent on and says, "Yep, that's fine," and I have to be the voice of reason. So if I'm the voice of reason, there's probably a problem. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's awesome. I'm just looking forward to getting these guys over here. It'll be the owner's first time in Ice Arena Wales. The last time they actually walked around here, it was a building site with no roof on it or anything like that. So they're excited to be here. They got loads of friends coming. They got loads of family, and that's for October 15th against Sheffield. So again, you know, if you want to see owners bashing the crap out of the guys from IceTime TV, which I think we all do.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Buy your tickets.
Yeah, buy your tickets for that too. There's more besides. There is a game surrounding the Zorb football game.
But the important thing is
the Zorb football, definitely. But yeah, so yeah, we've got loads of fun stuff planned for the upcoming games. So we're having a good time here this year.
Yeah.
The fans have been great. The crowds have been good. We're doing some ridiculous things. We gave away a car already.
Yep.
A brand new-ish Mini. It was only 2 years older than the 12-year-old that won it, but he was excited. We've given away a big screen TV. We've given away an iPad. We're giving away an iWatch or an Apple Watch this weekend.
Okay.
So get your chuck-a-pucks.
Stop playing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Todd, thank you for your time. We've got to let you go, I know, but as always, thanks for joining us on IceTime TV.
All right. Okay.